But how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in bright and early with what the trade setup looks like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hi guys, a very good morning to all of you. It was a busy day yesterday and definitely looks like another busy day today. But let's talk about the markets. What would the market setup look like today? Harmaz, let me start with you.
Morning, Sonal. And the key to today's session will be that the recovery that we saw in yesterday's trading session, whether that sustains or not. And it was a very swift recovery as well. We saw that dip after the finance minister's budget speech was over, but then the Nifty recovered 400 points from the lows of the day. The mid-cap index even recovered almost 2,000 points from the day's low. And a similar kind of recovery was seen in the small-cap index as well, 850 points from the lows of the day. And this despite some negative developments coming in, be it the increase in the STT, the tinkering with the LTCG and the STCG rates as well. So it was a swift recovery. The Nifty ending slightly below that 24,500 level. So that remains the key in today's session as well, and whether that recovery will sustain in today's session or not. What led the recovery? It was FMCG. Of course, it was the top sectoral gainer yesterday. There were stock-specific positive announcements coming in for Titan, for ITC. ITC ended up getting some upgrades as well. And the sector will remain in focus today as well, because HUL, United Spirits will react to results. Some stock-specific announcements from Tata Consumer as well. Where did the pressure come from? From real estate. Some negative announcements coming in from the budget. 8 out of the 10 stocks ending lower there from the index. It recovered from the lows of the day, but still ended significantly lower. The other pressure point, though, was banks, and the Nifty Bank now closed below the 52,000 mark in yesterday's session. That was supposed to be a key support level, so we'll watch out for that. It's expiry today as well for the Nifty Bank. We'll keep an eye out on that, and also keep an eye out on PSUs, because it was the PSE index that sold off yesterday as well. Most of the index constituents ending lower, led by REC and PFC, and it was some very heightened trading activity seen in the PSU names, as 4 out of the top 5 traded stocks yesterday were PSUs, being HAL, RVNL, IRFC, IREDA. You can see the numbers there on your screen, and a lot of earnings as well today. We'll watch out for Axis Bank, L&T and SBI Life, and the GIFT Nifty too is indicating a slightly negative start for our market, so we'll see if that recovery sustains or not. Back to you.
Okay, yes, that's the market setup. Thank you so much, Harmaz, for that. Let me go across to Sudarshan now. He will list out all the stocks to watch out for in today's trading session. A lot of earnings, a lot of news updates, Sudarshan. Good morning.
Morning, Sonal. So apart from budget impact, we will see the companies reacting to the earnings and news flow. So starting with HUL, it was in line to slight beat for Q1. EBITDA has come in at rupees 3,600 crore against our poll of rupees 3,540 crore. Margin was at 23.5% versus poll of 23.4%, and volume growth has come at 4% against our poll of 3 to 4%. For Bajaj Finance, it was mild miss to our poll. NI has come at rupees 8,365 crore, and it has missed estimate by 1%. Asset quality, though, remains stable, and gross NPA has come at 0.86% versus 0.85% sequentially. United Spirits, it was an operational beat. Cost control and contained raw material have boosted margin. It has come at 19.5%, which is 220 bips higher than our poll. Prestige and above segment revenue growth has come at 10.1% versus estimate of 8 to 9%. ICICI Prudential, it was a mixed Q1. VNB has missed estimate while margin was in line. Value of new business has come at rupees 472 crore against our poll of 558 crore. Margin has come at 24% versus poll of 24.4%. Toyant Pharma, it was an inline Q1. Strong growth in India business. EBITDA was up 14%. Margin has increased 110 bips. Parag Milk, it was again operational beat. Dairy sector margin expansion has continued. Overall volume growth was at 10%, and margin has increased 180 bips. Schaeffler India, it has reported mixed Q2 earnings. Revenue and EBITDA above estimates. Margin has missed estimates. Revenue was up 15% and EBITDA increased 10% YY. Vedanta is going to consider second interim dividend for FY25 on July 26. Dr. Reddy's will consider stock split on July 27, and Apollo Micro will issue convertible warrants up to 265 crore to promoters and non-promoters. So keep an eye on these stocks that might be in focus today.
All right, Sudarshan, thank you so much for that list. Let me go across to Mangalam now. He's joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Morning, Mangalam.
Good morning. So if you looked at the close of market yesterday, you looked at Nifty Bank, the mid-cap index, you would not think that it is the budget day, because we closed marginally lower. The mid-cap index lower by about 0.6%, was underperforming. The Nifty Bank down by about 500 points as well. It would look like par for course, but it was the volatility during the day which actually, told you it was the budget day. So the Nifty low of 24,074 is something that we'll watch out for. The Nifty Bank, mildly above the day's low, was an underperformer in yesterday's trading session. The FIs, they sold in the cash market. After a spate of buying in the month of July, over 20,000 crores, they sold 3,000 crores in the cash markets. And not just that, they also sold about 3,700 crores in index futures, where they unwound about 35,000 longs, added about 19,000 shorts as well. And they've been doing that systematically over the last 4 or 5 trading sessions. So if you look at FII long exposure, in the last 4 trading sessions, it's down from 81% to about 74%. And the net contracts have actually reduced from 3.9 lakh on the long side to just about 2.8 lakh on the long side. That tells you that they've unwound around 1 lakh long contracts or added concomitant short contracts on a net basis in the last 4 sessions itself. On the way up, we have some resistance upwards of 24,600. On the way down, however, the first support comes in around 24,350 because we have seen action at the 24,450 put. If you look at the 24,450 call, a premium of 100 rupees, 24,500 call, another premium of 100 rupees, telling you around 24,550 to around 24,600 will be some resistance. Watch out for the Nifty Bank options expiry today. Watch out for a lot of these stocks. Titan, ITC, HUL, United Spirits, the FMCG pack will be in focus today. Also, out of F&O ban are stocks like Chambal Fertilizer, Piramal Enterprises, Bandhan Bank and Hindustan Aeronautics.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead. Let's